Hi, I'm back from the dead because the internet's working again. Let's talk about some movies. So for the 1st of August, I watched Blood Rage. I gave that one 3.5 stars. It was pretty stupid, but it was pretty fun. On the 2nd of August, I watched Pig, starring Nicolas Cage. I gave this one 4 stars. I really loved Pig. It sounds kind of weird, but you kind of just go with it, and it's not quite what I was expecting, but it was, and I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people expect it to be different, but it was really good, with a good performance by Nicolas Cage, which is probably one of the first times I've said that. He's probably my favourite actor, but I'm not going to say that he's always on the ball. On the 3rd of August, I watched Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I talked about it in my Kubrick ranked video. I watched a few Kubrick movies in August, so I won't talk too much about them when I come around to them. 4th of August, I rewatched On the Waterfront. I gave it 3 stars again. I think that the first half, first 50 minutes to an hour, is a little bit slow and unengaging, but the last hour of the movie is really terrific, and I think it's really good. It'll probably go up, as I get older. I feel like I'm going to like it more and more. But for now, I think a 6 out of 10 suits it pretty damn well. Also on the 4th of August, I watched Elvis, directed by Baz Luhrmann. I gave that one 4.5 stars. I really liked Elvis. I was a little bit hesitant in the first 5-10 minutes because his style is very go, very non-stop, almost suffocating, but I found it to be an extremely entertaining 2.5 hour plus movie, and I never got bored once, so I really enjoyed it. The 5th of August, I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest again. I gave it 5 stars. It's one of my favourite movies. I really like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's not really that much I can say about it without rambling, so let's move on. On the 7th of August, I watched Eyes Wide Shut, which I loved. I thought it was excellent, and again, it's going to be one of those ones that I think on future watches, I'm going to like it even more. I gave it 4 stars as well. I don't think I said that. On the 7th of August as well, after Eyes Wide Shut, I watched Insidious again for the 3rd or 4th time. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's probably the scariest movie that I've ever seen. It bothers me. On the 8th of August, I watched The Slumber Party Massacre. I gave it 2.5 stars because it wasn't very good. No, look, it was fun. I did enjoy it, but for a 75-minute movie, it went by pretty damn slowly. On the 9th of August, I rewatched Orphan. I haven't seen Orphan First Kill yet, but I'm hoping to in the next couple of weeks. I gave it 5 stars again. I've seen it heaps of times. It's one of my all-time favourite movies. Absolute gem. On the 10th, I watched Malignant again. I think this was my 4th time watching it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's just excellent. I think it's a funny movie. I think it's a really clever satire. I just think, and it's very well choreographed too, the action sequences. I think just Malignant is great and kind of misunderstood by some people. On the 11th of August, I watched Desperado. I gave it 3.5 stars. I did pretty much enjoy this movie. The only reason why it wasn't any higher is because in the last 20 minutes, it kind of starts to kind of be like, okay, come on, let's just wrap this up, because it's a lot of action, not a lot of character work. I do like the character, was it El Mariachi or whatever? Anyway, I did like him, but at the same time, I felt like it could have been a little bit tighter. So still 3.5 stars. I still enjoyed watching it. I loved a bit of the music in it. Love Steve Buscemi at the start. I love Quentin Tarantino's amazing joke. The 12th of August, I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I gave it 4 stars. It's great. On the 13th of August, I watched Full Metal Jacket. I gave that 4 stars as well. I really enjoyed Full Metal Jacket. It wasn't one of my favourite Kubricks, but I think it's still a really damn good movie. 14th, I watched Ready or Not. I gave it 3 stars. My rating's probably a little bit misleading to how much I actually enjoyed watching it. It's just that it's very similar to Your Next. with a supernatural twist, obviously, but it's very similar to You're Next, and I just prefer You're Next. For example, like Ready or Not, I don't think I'm really going to go back to it ever. I mean, I'm sure I will, but I'll probably watch You're Next like 3 or 4 times before going back to Ready or Not, so that's why it's that low. Also, on the 14th, I rewatched Cat's Eye. I gave it 5 stars in this watch because fuck it, it's such a good movie. It's such a fun movie. I don't have any problems with it. That's why it gets a 10 out of 10. It's super fun, super easy, and a banger end credits song. On the 15th, I watched Ocean's 11. I gave it 3 stars. Like, there's no reason why I would watch Ocean's 11 again when I could just watch Goodfellas or Casino or The Wolf of Wall Street or something like it's just Scorsese but light. but I still gave it 3 stars because I still think George Clooney gave a great performance. I thought it was very well paced. I was never bored. I thought I found it interesting. I found it enjoyable. It's definitely a well directed movie. But I just don't think I'm going to revisit it that often. Also on the 15th, I watched 2001 A Space Odyssey. I gave it 5 stars. Of fucking course, it's 2001. Amazing movie. Just amazing movie. Oh my god. I can't even. I'm going to see that movie in IMAX tomorrow in like theaters. We're going to drive like, nearly an hour and a half's drive to get there, and I just cannot wait. I'm so fucking excited. And then that was a big day, the 15th of August was, because I wrapped it off with The Killing by Stanley Kubrick. I gave that one 4 stars, and it was really damn good. On the 16th, I watched Saving Private Ryan. I gave it 3 stars. It was good. Also on the 16th, I rewatched Jackie Brown. Love fucking Jackie Brown. 5 stars. Great movie. Now, I took a couple of days off, and I returned on the 19th of August to watch Barry Lyndon. I gave it 1 star. Very, very generous 1 star, might I say, too. Because I hated every second of this movie. It's just that if I didn't have any respect for movies in general, this would have been an easy half star. On the 20th of August, I watched Spartacus. I gave it 2 stars because this movie is 3 hours and 17 minutes long. And then on the 21st of August, I watched Lolita. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. I already talked about it in my Kubrick ranking video. It was just fantastic. Loved it. Later that day, I rewatched Stand By Me. I gave that one 5 stars. I love that movie. It's really grown on me. And then I also watched The Shining again as a way to cap off my Stanley Kubrick run. My favourite movie ever. 5 stars. Great. Perfect. Don't need to say anything else. 22nd, I rewatched Child's Play. I gave it 3.5 stars, but about a week later I changed it to 4 stars because I really, really like it because I watched the entire franchise and I fucking love that franchise. It's so damn good. And this is just the start of me watching it. The 23rd of July, 23rd of August. I think I've been saying July for the past few ones, maybe. If I have been, I'm terribly sorry. Anyway, I rewatched Child's Play 2, gave it 3.5 stars. Again, bumped it up to 4 stars after I finished the franchise because I realized just how much I fucking love these movies. Child's Play 2, it's equal to the original. I think maybe a little bit better. Maybe. I can't choose which one I like better, 1 or 2. 24th of August, I watched Top Gun Maverick for the 4th time in gold class, gave it 5 stars, already talked about it. I got a review, go watch that, you can see me jack off over it. It's a really damn good movie. The 25th of August, I rewatched Secret Window, I gave it 4.5 stars. I just think I think this movie is really underrated. Like, do you watch that movie? Like, it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's so well shot. It's got such a good performance by Johnny Depp. It's got such an interesting plot. Like, I don't understand. I don't get why people don't like that movie. It's a fucking great movie. On the 26th of July, fucking hell, on the 26th of August, I watched Child's Play 3. I gave it 1.5 stars. It had a few good one-liners from Chucky, and that was it. The rest of it was terrible. was a little bit worried that it was going to keep going down that path, but it didn't, thank fuck. The 27th, I watched A Clockwork Orange again. I gave it 5 stars on this watch. Yeah, good movie. On the 28th, I watched Rosemary's Baby for the first time, which is a kind of a weird thing that I've never seen it before. But anyway, it's a really, really good and suspenseful and uncomfortable and gritty movie. Really damn good. I gave it 4 stars. On the 29th, I watched Donnie Darko. I gave it 4 stars. It's a very, very fucking confusing movie. I was like, as soon as I thought, like, you know, a few little hints about what's going on were about to be sprinkled in, the credits rolled. The credits rolled on that movie, and I just audibly said, what the fuck? Because it's just so wacky. But at the same time, I still really, really liked it. Jake Gyllenhaal was great. It's just really, really well shot. It's perfectly paced. The soundtrack is amazing. So it's kind of one of those movies, like, you're watching it, you don't know what's going on, but you can still enjoy it. And I really appreciated that. And once I figure out more about what is going on, I'm probably going to like that movie a lot more. On the 30th, I watched The Bride of Chucky. I gave it 3 stars. Again, this is kind of misleading to my enjoyment of it, because Jade and Jesse's relationship was awfully handled, but everything else was great. Jennifer Tilly, just so goddamn good in this movie. And just, Chucky just got funnier. I know some people said it went a bit too far for them, but I thought it was just hilarious. Speaking of going a little bit too far, on the 31st of August, I rounded out that month by watching Seed of Chucky. I gave it 2 stars because anyway, that's what I watched in August. I hope you enjoyed. I will be doing a Child's Play ranked. Hopefully I'll get that out pretty damn soon, because I kind of feel bad that I haven't been doing any videos, but whatever. I'll see you later.